like to call this meeting to order. I'll begin in a good way by acknowledging the heritage that we live and work on the traditional unceded territory of the Squamish Nation, whose people have been stewards of these lands and waters surrounding Naquilic and Bowen Island. Welcome to the Bowen Island Municipality meeting of November 24th, and thank you for joining. I'm Councillor Tim Wake, the acting mayor of Bowen Island Municipality and the chair of this meeting. I'd like to introduce the other elected members of Bowen Island Council here this afternoon. Beginning on my right with Council Islands trustee Judy Getty. And on my far left, Councillor John Saunders. And to his right, Councillor Alison Morris. And online, we have Councillor Sue Ellen Bath and Councillor Alex Jurgensen. We are also joined by several members of our professional staff team here this afternoon, including our Deputy Chief Administrative Officer, Kristen Watson, and our Corporate Officer, Sophia Tsinga, and the other staff may be presenting items put on the agenda. This meeting is being recorded, and when members of the public speak during the public comment and Q&A portions of the meeting, your presence and voice will be included in the permanent recording, which will be available at bowenislandmunicipality.ca and our YouTube channel in the near future. This council meeting is the official forum for the conducting of the business of local government. We all love our home and we're passionate about what happens in this community. I'd encourage everyone to maintain a constructive and respectful tone during the meeting and to direct comments for council during the public comment or Q&A portions of the meeting to myself. The agenda and full council package for this afternoon's meeting is available on bowenislandmunicipality.ca. Now we'll move to adoption of the agenda. Are there any on-table items?
There are no on-table items.
Okay, and are there any changes or additions to the agenda?
I'll move that council approve the agenda for the November 24th, 2025 regular council meeting.
Moved by Councillor Morris. Second. Seconded by Councillor Saunders. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye. Public comments. Do we have any public comments?
There are no public comments this afternoon. Okay, so that are there any items for the consent agenda? Any items to be pulled from the consent agenda? So Getty?
Sorry, I've got a long list. So the 4.7, 12.3, 12.5, 12.6, 12.10.
Okay, anyone else? That is,
Is there anything else?
I was gonna pull this off by 5, but that's already there.
okay. I'm also gonna pull 12.13. Okay, begin with 4.7, Council Committee.
All right, so those are the minutes of the APC meeting. We had referred them the all right, I'm looking up now. I think it was one of the development proposals, and I wanted to make sure that when the substantive matter came back to us, that we could go back to this APC report and have a refresher on it. So when the notice comes out, I'm sorry, corporate officer, I'm not sure of the contents to make the link properly, but whatever it is that they were referred in those minutes.
This was the rezoning for lot 7, Athens Road.
So the manager, or sorry, the island community planner would have presented that to the APC.
And we'll be preparing a staff report containing the recommendation from the APC.
So we don't have to make a special request that will be part of it?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Then I would move adoption of the minutes of the APC.
Receive. Council, just.
Okay, Councillor Fast? Yes.
Thank you. I move the adoption of everything in the consent agenda.
Quiet.
We pulled a bunch of stuff.
Only this 4.7 from the consent agenda? Or do we do
No,
that
all-
later?
All of the correspondence.
We've pulled,
Okay, never mind. Withdrawn.
would you like to second the motion to
Yes,
proceed?
thank
Oh.
you.
I'll,
Sorry, can I just say it's a little hard to follow from here because the sound is muffled from the people at the front of the room. So apologies. I wasn't
okay,
following.
we'll work on booming conversation from here on. Okay, all those in favor? And say aye. Okay.
Audio.
0.5.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
12.3 is what's the one. I did do 5 there. Are we into 12?
Yeah.
Yes? Are we into? Okay. Okay, so this is the notice that we got from, it's the regular release from the Hub Cycling News, and they were saying that there's a problem. That there's a proposal that the active transportation infrastructure grant program is going to be phased out, and they are suggesting, they're writing, I believe, to the minister, saying that it should become part of the regular funding and a couple of other suggestions, and I think that it would be helpful and important and within our interest to support that.
Write a letter.
Either it's just, yeah, okay, it's regular.
Anyone please second that? Councillor Morris, all those in favor, please say aye.
Audio now in view.
Opposed, the motion carries unanimously. Okay, 12.5.
Sorry, I'm trying to find this agenda so we can follow along with it. 12.5. Oh, so this is a letter from Nicholas Jimenez. I'm not sure how he pronounces his last name. In response to our urgent calls for formal consultation, and he suggests that he would be willing to come to one of our council meetings and discuss this and answer questions, and I think we should take him up on that.
Well, I would move that we invite Nicholas Jimenez and his senior staff to a meeting with our council.
Second by Councillor Saunders, all those in favor, raise your hand, and say aye. Aye.
Audio now.
Unanimously, and I'd like to just add a comment that they are planning sessions for local leaders in the coming months, so if he comes here, that's great. But one way or the other, we should be staying in touch. And then on a related note, he refers in the letter to the $50,000 that we received this year for ferry marshalling, and suggests that any further payments like that are going to have to result in an increase on ferry fares. Which I did a little calculation, and if we have 1 million sailings per year, that would be 5 cents. Sorry, not 1 million sailings, 1 million passengers per year. That'll be about 5 cents per time. So I think in our meeting to them, we can say, go ahead. We'll pay the 5 cents.
Well, if it's 5 cents for us, it also might be 10 cents for the tourists. If they don't have an experience.
There you go.
Just as an add-on to that, to the chair, that if we're gonna invite Mr. Jimenez, which is a good idea, I wonder if we shouldn't extend an invite to the other signatories of the letter as well. I realize not everybody's gonna be able to come or anything like that, but if any of the other, you know, or at least let them know about the meeting so they can stream it and watch and maybe have comments or something.
The signatories of our letter to him.
Yes.
Or to the chair.
I don't think we need a resolution for that. 12.6.
Okay, so this one is about a more general problem with microplastics that this person, the writer, is bringing to our attention. And I was wondering whether or not the turf field that we've got here is is part of our asset management plan, and whether or not we've got that figured into what he's talking about is complete replacements with something that is not microplastics, which I think we explored the last time in terms of coconut fiber or something that was much more. So if we accept this information in terms of not replacing it with plastic and going for something much more expensive, it seems to me that that's an asset management issue that I was curious and wondering whether or not it's been included in our the work that we're doing.
I can answer that question. Certainly the annual life cycle replacement costs of the field are going to be included in the asset management. And you're correct, the turf field was infilled with coconut husk fiber. I will have to check with Parks or with our recreation team to find out if we're still using that fiber. And we do have the manager of environment and parks in the room, so I would ask if she was aware or if it would be a recreation manager question to redirect to.
Through the chair, thanks. It is a question more for the recreation manager, but I do recall that we are not using the coconut fiber anymore, but we are using a similar organic replacement. It's not like a recycled rubber tire like any municipalities use.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Mr. Chair?
Councillor Fast.
I believe it's crushed walnut shells that we're using now. And I think staff went through quite a, just backing up the manager Parks. And we've never used that crumbled up recycled tires on Bowen's artificial turf field. And it seems to me that staff did a really good report that we could look at again. Or somebody in asset management could look at again, because I believe that the little green blades that are supposed to resemble grass, there was something special about them as well to be less polluting. So I think there's good information out there in the staff report. Over.
I've received the letter from at 12.6.
Second by Councillor Getty. All those in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Audio now. Okay, and 12.10.
Okay, that was mine as well. So that was the letter from Don Schaefer and Preston Dunning Morton with respect to correspondence procedures. And I would ask that when we get an opportunity to work on those policies, and that was recommended that be, I'm not sure if it was, we asked it for that to be a priority. I got on the list of things to do, but that this letter attached to that work be considered.
I asked the corporate officer about that this morning, and I think it's in the authority.
On the record.
Yeah.
Sorry, could you speak up, please?
On the record.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I'll move receipt of the correspondence at 12.10.
Thanks, I got for Saunders. All those in favor, raise your hand.
Audio now.
Okay, and 12.13 was mine. And that's a letter from Don Schaefer regarding regarding the West Side Village proposal. And I thought he had some very relevant thoughts there and suggestions. So I'd like to move receipt of that letter. Seconded by Councillor Saunders. All in favor? That carries unanimously. Okay, we're through the consent agenda.
There's actually just one more thing, the consent agenda.
Oh, right. Okay. Motion to adopt the consent agenda. Moved by Councillor Marsh, seconded by Councillor Saunders. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye. Okay. Okay, now we're on to 7.1. The 561 and 564 Highlands Road rezoning bylaws under 671 and 672. Over to Daniel Martin.
Thank you. So I'm here to talk about bylaws 671 and 672 for consideration of final adoption. So these bylaws were given third reading at the October 24th meeting, and you referred them to the Islands Trust and authorized staff to enter into a restricted covenant. So the Islands Trust returned comment at the end of October that they approve of bylaw 671 to amend the official community plan. The restrictive covenants have been signed by both us and the applicant and are with the municipal lawyer to be registered. So staff recommend adoption of the two bylaws.
All right, any questions? Councillor Marsh,
I'm going to move the recommendation if there's no question.
are there any questions? Any further questions on this? All right, seeing none.
I'm going to move the bylaw number 671 cited as Bowen Island Municipality Official Community Plan bylaw number 282, 2010. Amendment bylaw number 671, 2024 be reconsidered and finally adopted. And the bylaw number 672 cited as Bowen Island Municipality Land Use bylaw number 57, 2002, amendment bylaw number 672, 2024 be reconsidered and finally adopted.
All right. Seconded by Councillor Saunders. All those in favor, raise your hand and say aye.
Aye.
And that carries unanimously. That's again.
If I can just make a comment, this is very helpful for one of our most senior residents in terms of a woman who was 103, I think, this year. In her hundreds at any rate, who was born and raised on Bowen, so this is for her benefit. I'm very glad we're doing this.
104.
104. All right, we'll move along to 8.1. Award request for proposals for road condition, data collection and assessment. And we'll turn this over to Sarah Cowdy, our manager of construction. Good morning. Afternoon.
Good afternoon. Through the chair, the report is there. If you have any questions, I'm available for answering questions about this, but this is a great initiative for us to have a great understanding of our roads and plan for future 3, 5, 10 years of road replacement and how we are going to spend the money that we have in our budget yearly.
All right, and thanks for the report. Certainly looks like a good idea. Are there any questions from council? Councilor Saunders.
Thank you, through the chair. Sorry, is it, will the information gleaned from this effort, is that going to go into the either new or old software, the asset management software that's being developed? That will become part of that whole process then, right?
Through the chair, yes, you're right, Councillor Sanderson. We have a network of the roads in the GIS map and also in citywide. But the information that we have, it's old information, and most of the assessments are visual assessments. So our public works team members went and they visually assessed the roads. However, with this new technology, LiDAR, laser technology, we are going to assess our roads properly, then invest on, and prioritize,
Excellent.
our rehabilitation.
Great idea. Thank you.
You want to raise a recommendation then?
I will.
Hang on, we've got a few more speakers here. Councillor Fast, over to you.
Thank you. I just wanted to, through the chair, I just want to say I really appreciated this report because I like the emphasis on data, and I was glad to hear about the 50% grant funded. That's just for this project, is that correct? The grant funding, or does it also go towards the CityView software?
Through the chair, the grant is funded specifically for creating this report and uploading it to the software. The software has been already paid for.
Okay, thank you. I was just confused about that, but that's great. It's data entry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oops.
Councillor Getty.
So in the, and this might be a question for the financial officer, but in the paragraph that talks about financial resource maintenance considerations, it's the infrastructure planning grant will fund up to 50% of the proposed $50,000 data collection and assessment project, and the total contract value is below that, excluding GST. But does that mean that the grant is funding all of this, or just 50% of this?
Through the chair, my understanding is that 50% of that is going to be funded by the grant.
To a maximum of 25,000.
So
Thank you.
All right. Any more questions? Any other questions? All right, can someone make the motion?
I'd like to move that
Councillor Saunders.
Move that council award the contract for the road condition data collection and assessment RFP MRFP 2025-003 to Stantec Consulting Limited for $45,759 excluding GST.
Second by Councillor Getty. All those in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, thank you. All right. Move on to 8.2, update on climate action strategy. Who's manager of environment, parks and planning?
Thank you. I'm just here to answer any questions about that.
All right, any questions from council on the update on the climate action strategy? Councillor Morris.
Not a question. I've gone through it and I'm happy with all the changes, and if nobody has any questions, I'll move the vote.
We're gonna hear from Councillor Fast.
I was going to move the motion. Thank you.
I want to move the motion.
Okay, it's a motion, see who moves the motion. All
All
right,
right, can I ask a question?
yes. So that's what we're for.
So the letter from the public that was attached at the very end had a number of suggestions and have, I'm sorry, I read it too quickly, maybe it wasn't clear. Have those been incorporated into as much as possible into the revised plan?
Through the chair, there were suggestions in 3 different areas, and I wouldn't say that the climate action strategy has changed much based on those suggestions. In the report, it was explained that they were either already addressed or addressed more fully in other plans. But they've all been considered.
Thank you. I wasn't sure if it was part of this, but you list the parks plan and the transportation plan and access transportation. I wasn't sure if that was just that covered it or whether it was also something that was in the.
It is in the climate action strategy, but less more vaguely.
Thank you.
All right, Councillor Morris, would you like to make the recommendation?
I would move that council adopt the 2025 climate action strategy update to guide Bowen Island's climate response.
Second by Councillor Saunders. All those in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, so we're on to new business.
So, Mayor Leonard is away and, I did ask him if there was anything he wanted me to pass along to Metro Vancouver. He said not much is happening there, so, we'll have to wait until his next report. There is a meeting coming up soon, so there'll be more then. So I'll skip to 11.3, update on council on the Islands Trust business. Councilor, you fast. Councilor Fast, there we go.
Sure, okay. Just to let you know, Trust Council meets next week in Victoria. And this will be an interesting meeting. We'll be receiving the new CAO's operational review with some recommendations in it. And so that's interesting reading. The agenda and everything is posted online, and people can join by Zoom and watch online and all that kind of thing. But we'll also take another look at the budget for Islands Trust at that time, and we'll see what happens there. And just on the Islands Trust side, also, I think it's Friday, I have a meeting about onboarding new trustees. This sort of pre-election year, making sure people know that what being an Islands Trust trustee is and what the Islands Trust is, and hope to pull some new candidates out of the woodwork, and also encourage good, healthy democracy, and also start making plans for the orientation and things that happen after that, with such a large area, and it's hard to orient people to the work of a large 26-person trust council. Thank you. I'll let Councillor Getty, Trustee Getty, take the rest.
All right, so I was going to mention too with the CAO's report on the operations. There's a couple of fairly expensive budget recommendations that he's making, and it's new money for the budget that wasn't before the Finance Committee when we were the last two meetings when we've been talking about the budget considerations for next year. And there's already a couple of issues in that budget that are getting a lot of discussion. And I think both of these recommendations would have an effect on Bowen's. It's not anything to do with planning or bylaw, so it's going to be general operations. So I would find it before our next, well, the report is in this agenda coming up, and then after that, we're going to have another finance committee. So I'd be very interested. This group is one of the most interested parties in terms of keeping track of budgets and expenses and reading reports and things like that. So I would find it very helpful to get feedback from people in terms of the links and between the CAO report and these budget items. The other thing that's going on is that the First Nations staff has set up 4 long days, full days of training with respect to reconciliation concepts and attitudes and skills in terms of, and that there's another one of those coming up this week, and that's become very interesting. And if anybody is more interested in terms of some of the things we're learning from that, I can probably put together some summaries and share a lot of that information. And then from the last council meeting, we've got that all the information that Andrew had in terms, or Mayor Leonard had in terms of his concerns about the trust policy statement. So I'm still wading through a lot of that and trying to figure out both things that I agree with and things that I would like to talk more about. But there's that going on as well. So the trust seems very busy these days. But anyway, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on.
So that discussion will come back to the next council meeting. Councilor Burns.
With respect to, and I meant to ask this the last time you mentioned it, the training sessions with First Nations. I'm assuming those are general trust council expenses. And as such, is there any reason why those Bowen Council couldn't be invited to attend those I'm assuming they're by Zoom.
We had to sign up and there were questions in terms of space and time. And there's, you know, just involving the consultants, there's two people that, you know, are giving out homework, and it's not just a session of talking heads, it's a small group, you know, we break up into groups of 2 or 3 and stuff like that, so I think there's some organizing.
So it's in person.
No, it's Zoom.
It is by Zoom.
Yeah.
But we weren't sent the invitations to participate.
No, it was available, open to the trustees for training.
Yeah.
And then we had to sign up and they had to sort out how many people there and how many groups and how many consultants and all of that.
All right. I think that brings us to adjournment. And I'd like to point out that this is the shortest council meeting I've ever been to. Motion to adjourn.
It's been 3 in a row.
So again. Paper, aye.
Right.
Carries.